All right, another Nerdy Virgin podcast that I have to do. I have to keep doing it. I always feel better after I do this. I never want to do it going into it, but then I always feel better coming out of it. So I just got to remind myself of that as we get through this. So, where are we at? Health scare with my dad. Let's talk about that. He calls me and he says that I guess a couple of weeks ago he was driving and suddenly he went blind in one of his eyes for like 30 seconds. So he goes to the optometrist. The optometrist says you need to go to the doctor, and they put a heart monitor on his chest that he's got to wear for 2 weeks. And the issue now is he's irritated that he's got to wear this monitor, and it's chafing the skin. That's the issue there. And so now we can worry about that. Good. This is a nice change of pace. I think that the problem is I've been worrying about myself. Now it's good to worry about someone else. That's good. We're kind of moving into being more outgoing. I'm not actually doing anything to help, but I'm worrying about it. Because, and I inherited this from my late mother, if you worry about it, the energy of worrying about it will fix it. That's what we believe. We both know that is totally not true. If anything, worrying really only makes things worse. But we continue to operate under this theory that if I worry hard about it, somehow that energy of worrying, that's what really defeated Thanos in the end. It was someone at home was really worried about it, and Thanos was like, I feel a disturbance. I no longer have the power that I thought I had. Shouldn't there be an infinity stone of anxiety? Is that in one of the comics? Can someone look that up for me? So, feeling anxious about that. And all the thoughts that go through my brain as this happens, none of these thoughts are useful. Just nothing is making me feel better about this. I mean, my dad did say at one point, it's probably nothing. And I'm like, the human eye doesn't just shut off for 30 seconds. I mean, it's not like it's hooked up to the Wi-Fi. So we'll see. Maybe it is nothing. I don't know. So that's been on my mind. And then not to mention, I live in Los Angeles where things have been crazy with all of the protesting going on. And to be more clear, I live in Burbank, so I'm, 30 minutes away from it, but still, it's so not nearly as affected by the people as affected as the people who are like living it, but it's scary. I think I mentioned that last week. It's just scary, and I'll tell you what else is scary. Be honest with you, all the Middle East thing is scary because it leads to increased bouts of anti-Semitism, and as someone who's Jewish, I don't want to be in the crosshairs, and I feel guilty for even admitting that because, again, I'm not. There are people who are really suffering because of this, and here I am turning it around. But what about me? Will I be safe? So once again, just keeping it coming back with the narcissism. That was the nice thing about me freaking out over my dad. Hey, it's nice to not freak out about me. Can I pat myself on the back for that at least? That, hey, I'm I'm concerned for the welfare of someone else. Maybe there's hope. Of course, the follow-up thought is I don't want to fly out there and deal with it, but I'm concerned. That's something. That's the beginning of moving in the direction of being a decent human being, right? So all of that is going on, and then somebody told me there's a really good show. Maybe You Should Leave. Is that what it's called? Can't even remember what they said. No, it's a really good show. You should watch it. I'm like, I don't have the time, do I? I mean, if I have to choose between that and aimlessly watching the same 5 variations of YouTube clips, like, I'd rather mindlessly scroll through YouTube, which has become the new channel flipping for now. I had this thought today. I'll share this with you. What if by some miracle, 1,000 years from now, there's still a human race? And what if 1,000 years from now, this human race is really advanced and has achieved a higher level of existence and peace and prosperity and technological advancements, and suddenly all the things that plague us, wars, famine, hunger, disease, are much, much less prevalent? Are they going to look back at this time the way we look back at the Dark Ages? That's what I was wondering. Are they going to be, in their history class, and they're going to be like, wait a minute, what was TikTok? What were they doing? All this over 1-minute videos? What? I'm sorry, their healthcare system worked how? That's what I'm wondering. Those are my deep thoughts as I am sitting here, in the middle of freaking out. It's the other problem too. Like the night ended kind of early for me, but I've still got energy. I still want to go do something, but I don't know what to go and do. None of the things that you go and do are things that I want to go and do. I don't want to go hang out at a bar. I don't want to go to a rave. I don't want to go to a dance. But I know I want to go and do something. It's probably going to be going to the store, although I'm even hesitant to do that because I'll end up going through my ritual of buying lettuce that I end up never eating and then throwing out. So I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to do something, though. It'd be nice if there was like a late night coffee shop that was open, that was within walking distance. And I don't know, maybe there's people. Well, I know there's a place nearby that's a nerd-themed bar where people go and they play board games. That would be where I should go. Which I could, by the way, I could never get into Magic the Gathering, which my friend, like right after I went to college and I came back to visit, my friends had gotten into Magic the Gathering, and I sat down and I played it with them, and I thought to myself, I just can't do this. I can't embrace this. There's nothing wrong with Magic the Gathering. Maybe it goes back to this thing where for whatever reason, I'm into the science fiction. I'm not into the fantasy as much. Like, I think I'm into Star Wars because there's just enough robots to make Star Wars interesting to me. But the fantasy, I don't know, the Hobbit and the horses and the magic, I have a hard time really latching onto that stuff. I've never really been able to get into it. Like I get the theory of how a laser works, but how does a magic wand work? And yes, I understand in a lot of these shows it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, but why is it in the world of Harry Potter the magic spell doesn't seem to work unless you're about 8 feet away from the person and you're shooting something at them that looks kind of like a cross between a super soaker and that, a proton pack from Ghostbusters? It's magic, shouldn't it? Why do you have to be in the same room? Shouldn't it be able to go around corners? It's magic, but it's vaguely following the laws of physics as it relates to water. I'm very confused. Very confused by all this. We're only 10 minutes in, and I'm already... So there's this house I walk by every night. I'm like, if I were to ever own or buy a house, it's like I would want that kind of house. I realized that I don't know why this is. I don't know where this came from. But I'm really into the adobe. There's something, I don't know what it is about adobe, but I've suddenly, I like the adobe vibe. You know what? There's something about adobe. It's a very Southern California or kind of Southwest flavor. And there's something about it that says, no matter what happens, there will never be snow here. And that's really what I think I want more than anything. Although the way climate change is going, who knows? There might be, I don't know, there may be winter, or there may be a nuclear winter. Who can say at this point? Not to get too dark on you, but it is, I'm glad I'm doing this podcast. I feel better about this. I think I am going to go to 7-Eleven and get another banana. That's my late night snack. I've been much better about not eating sugar. I'm not going to go on a sugar binge. I feel physically better when I don't eat a ton of processed sugar. And even though the highs are not as high, I do have more energy overall. So that's a positive thing, right? I just got to keep going, man. Just got to keep going, got to keep working. Hopefully this thing works out with my dad. I'm trying to reassure him. I don't think I wasn't very reassuring. I am embodying the spirit of my mother, because I immediately went and typed all his symptoms into ChatGPT, and ChatGPT was like, he should go to a neurologist too. And then I was like, dude, ChatGPT says you should go to a neurologist too. And he says, I do go to a neurologist. And I'm like, no, I mean now. And that probably didn't help. Well, I don't know. They got the heart monitor on him, I guess. That's good. And they're running the tests. That's good. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it will be fine. I just... yeah. I mean, then again, sometimes it's like anything else. I'm worried about this, and then meanwhile, what's the thing that blows up in my face? The one thing I'm not worried about. Again, back to the magic of worrying. That's why if I worry about everything, then that will never happen, because that's how life works, right? Sorry, I got to make sure I'm not getting hit by this Humvee. You know how there's like 2 models of Humvees? There's like the big model, and then there's like the smaller, more, I guess, sort of not compact, but the more economy-sized model Humvee. If you're going to get a Humvee, get the big one. What are you doing with this Toyota Corolla of Humvees? And why am I suddenly being so judgmental of those people? The smaller Humvee is probably more cost effective, and it's probably better with the gas mileage. In many ways, it's the smarter way to go. But I thought the whole purpose of the Humvee is, power. It's like, I know, you're going to take over the world. You're going to take over the world. Take over the world. Hang on. Bike. These people on their bikes. Ugh. The bikes. Always with the bikes making the noise. Always with the bikes making the noise. They're never going to have a electric bike, are they? Because you can't rev the electric. Anyway, back to the Humvee thing. It's like, you're going to take over the world, take over the world. You never see a supervillain like, I'm just going to take over most of Europe, but stop there. I don't need everything. That's the supervillain I want to... Don't even call me a supervillain. It's professional villain. That's as far as I need to go. I'm just going to take over. Just give me Spain, half of Portugal. I'm fine. We'll stop there. And by the way, they can still govern themselves. I just really want a nice summer home. That's really all I'm going for. Are we good to end the podcast there? I know this is, I know it's supposed to be an hour, but this is close enough, right? 16 minutes? Yeah, this feels good. Let's end it here. We're good.